In a previous audio, I touched on people who have education and training in a particular field, and they're not working in that field, and they're suffering mentally and psychologically because of circumstances surrounding those issues. I touched on certain people in their inner circle that might give them a hard time about it, and it's not fair. First of all, you got to limit your access to these people. These people aren't walking in your shoes. And the truth is, they're simply jealous. I mean, who does that? Who sees somebody who is obviously suffering that you're close to, and instead of trying to lift them up and encourage them and help them navigate through the problem, sits there and beats them down over it? They're already down, but they continue to beat you down. No one who loves you does that. Someone who's jealous of you does. Because deep down, they wish they had what you had or the opportunity that you had. But instead of just offering support, they come from such a damaged place psychologically. It could be a past situation. It could be upbringing. It could be environment. It could be trauma, whatever the case may be. They're so damaged emotionally and mentally, they can't even offer simple support. So instead, they work from a negative energy and decide they're going to twist the knife in your back when you're already down. It's evident you're already down. Let me give you a case in point, and maybe some of you can relate. Okay, as I stated before, you went to school, you got a degree in something. Let's say you did work in the field for, let's say, 5 years or whatever. You're thinking that everything's going to be cool with that. You probably advanced a little bit. You're thinking this is where you're going to be. All of a sudden, the business that you're working for decides they're going to file bankruptcy or they're going to switch over management. In both cases, when that happens, the first thing that gets affected is usually the workforce. And they're already paying you a comparable salary. But let's say that they filed bankruptcy and somebody bought them out, because it seems to be a common scenario with a lot of failing businesses nowadays. They'll turn around, they'll file bankruptcy, and in the midst of filing for bankruptcy, somebody will come along with an offer and offer to buy them out. Well, the problem is that you've got new people that are owning the company, and you don't know where their headspace is. So you're assuming because you did a good job and everything on that. Let me let this street sweeper pass by. Give me just a second. Okay, all right, it's gone now. Excuse me for that. But anyway, this new company comes along. They have a totally different agenda of how they're going to run things. And also, they have a budget that they want to deal with. Because see, when a company takes over another company, you're talking about a different format, a different budget. They may not have the same size budget for labor as they did before. They might be bringing a whole bunch of automated systems to replace personnel. So they're not going to look at the fact that you did 5 years or whatever the case was, and they're going to look at the salary that you're getting paid, and they're going to debate on whether or not they're going to keep you. Well, finally, the hammer has gone down, and they decided they're going to let you go. They go ahead and let you go. First of all, you're devastated by the fact that you were let go, because all that stability that you had in your mind in regards to your job situation, that's gone. So that's one issue that you got to deal with. That's a biggie. Number 2, you've got to deal with the fact that you have all these obligations now that you took on while you were employed, and you've got to figure out how to deal with them. So that's another source of pressure. The next thing you've got to deal with is the fact that you've got to try to find something that you were trained for with another company, with the hopes that you can get a salary that's relatively close to what you were making before. That's a challenge. And then number 4 is the one that I think that can be eliminated very quickly. You're going to sit here and have people in your inner circle, instead of offering you support, they're going to sit there and they're going to give you a hard time about what you need to do. Now, out of those 4 scenarios, I can tell you right now, the last scenario is something that you can deal with immediately. And the thing is you're going to have to be low-key, grind hard, and limit your limit or eliminate your communication with these people. You're already having a hard time, and the last thing that you need is some people who didn't do the work, didn't do the sacrifices to get what you've gotten to turn around and criticize your situation when you're down. There is no, that's not coming from any place of love or anything else. They're jealous. It's another shade of green, people. Because I'm going to tell you, think about it. How many times have you had family members or ex-friends or ex-lovers criticize you for your degree? The first thing they'll say is, oh, well, you're not even working in that field. No fault of your own, you're trying. There's more competition. There may be more competition out there in your field. But they'll turn around and they keep saying that every time you talk to them, they're saying it. Look at their background. 9 times out of 10, these people, every time you get within earshot of them, they're talking about the fact that, oh, well, you don't have this, but you have a degree. Or you're not doing that, but you have a degree. Every time you talk to them, there's always that one person. Every time you talk to them, every time you see them, they're always talking about your degree, your degree, your degree, your degree. You don't even bring it up in conversations. Just the minute they see you. What do you think that is? They're jealous. They are jealous of you. And you know what's really funny about this? These are the same people that once they encounter something that's a little bit too complicated beyond their educational level, you're the first one they'll call. Tell me I'm lying. Because I've had it happen to me. I have had people go behind my back talk about, well, you got this education in this, and you got this education in that. How come you ain't doing this? How come you ain't doing it? First of all, you don't know what I do in 24 hours of a day because you're not with me. You're not close to me like that. Who are you to make that judgment because you don't see it? Last time I checked, I have my own life. But every time you see this person, they always talk about, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. You need to do such and such. You need to do such and such. Because they don't see the fruits of your labor. They figure you ain't got no fruit. Where do they do that at? I'm going to say that again. Just because some people don't see the fruits of their labor, they assume that you don't have any fruit. Now think about how logical that is. They figure because they didn't get a front seat to the bounty that you didn't get one. Who are they supposed to be? They hadn't made near one sacrifice. They haven't wiped near one tear from your face when you were crying. They didn't pat you on your shoulders when you were upset. They didn't give you that hug or words of encouragement when you were going through your shit. But then when you get their paper, the first thing, every time they see you, they talk about, oh, well, your degree. Have you noticed that? But then when that person gets into a situation where there's an educational level that they have not achieved on their own, because most of these people hadn't even gotten the training that you've gotten. They haven't advanced themselves. And that's what this whole thing is about. And that's why they're jealous. So what they'll do is they'll exercise that jealousy by every time you come around, they have something negative to say about your degree. They're fixated on your degree. And they never say anything positive about it. It's always some negative snide remark or something slick or so-called constructive criticism about what you should do. It's always something that never glorifies what you've done. It's always something negative or something where they're trying to make you feel bad about what you've done, when in actuality they feel bad within themselves because they haven't done it. They're projecting their own self-defeating feelings onto you. And I know some of y'all who have been post-educated, past high school, got any specialized training in anything, was a vocational school, on-the-job training or anything like that to level up. Those of you who have leveled up, I know you've run into this. These people are jealous of you, bottom line. So when you're going through this other stuff, you can easily eliminate these folks. Limit your conversation with them, if not eliminate, and work on an alternative plan. You don't need that negative energy right now. Just saying.